Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So tonight I'm gonna make a little bit of pastina, which is basically a little noodle soup, but with small pasta shapes. So pastina basically refers to any small pasta. I'm gonna be using these tiny ditalini or little tubular pasta shapes, but sometimes you can find these other ones like little stars, and that's fine too. People really associate this type of meal with little kids, but you know, it's good for kids and adults alike. I had roasted a chicken earlier in the week, so what I want to do first is basically pull all the meat that's left from the carcass, and then I'm going to toss it in the oven to roast for about 15 to 20 minutes on a high temperature. And doing this will give a really good base for my broth. For the rest of my ingredients, I have my shredded up chicken in here, along with the gelatin that had formed as I let the chicken cool in the fridge over the last few days. This is going to add a lot of flavor to the broth. I have 1 egg, some dried pasta, parsley, 1 carrot, and 1 zucchini. So here's my chicken carcass out of the oven. There's also a whole piece of garlic in there. I'm gonna take this, put it in my pot, and then cover this with water. So I'm gonna let this go a few more minutes as I prep my vegetables. I do want to shred my vegetables. So I've already shredded my carrot, which is in here, and then I just want to go ahead, cut the ends off of my zucchini and shred that as well. And this way you don't get, again, big pieces, but it will meld throughout the soup quite nicely. Now you can go ahead and strain this, but I just went ahead and lifted out the chicken carcass as well as any other bone or skin, and I've discarded that. I am going to add my little bits of chicken as well as the gelatin and my vegetables, and then again bring this to a simmer, and then I will add my pasta. So at this point, you really do want to check for seasoning after the vegetables have been cooking a bit in the broth along with the chicken, and it's basically drippings from the chicken that had solidified, but it's not fat. It's like a collagen-based gelatin, bone broth type of thing. So taste it. If it needs a little bit more salt, you can add kosher salt or a little bit of chicken bouillon if you want to enhance the chicken flavor. But I just added a pinch of salt because I am going to put the pasta in, and the pasta will be absorbing that as well. Now that this is bubbling, I'm going to stir in my pasta. And this is gonna cook until al dente. I've also gone ahead and prepped my parsley. That'll be for the very end. Now for the egg, you're gonna have 2 different options. One, you could scramble it, and again, once it gets to a boiling point, just with a fork whisk it in, and it'll be like an egg drop soup. And that's fine and it works, but I am not doing that tonight. I'm going to be tempering my egg, and if you've never tempered an egg before, it is not difficult. My pastina is just about done, so to a small bowl, you want to kind of get your egg going so it doesn't take you longer than it needs. And as this is beaten, I want to take a ladleful of the broth and add it to this, and then start whisking it vigorously. And then once it's mixed really well, you'll add it back to the pot. Also added some cracked black pepper, and I've just added my parsley. I'm gonna stir this through, and this is pretty much it. I'm gonna show you how I top mine. So I like to top this with grated Parmigiano cheese, the real stuff, not the fake stuff, not the one in the green canister. And this, in my opinion, is one of the best ways to top it. Our pastina with carrot, zucchini, and homemade chicken broth. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. This type of soup is great when the weather gets a little dreary, if you're not feeling well maybe, if your allergies are going haywire, such as myself. So this is a classic Italian childhood dish. If you grew up in an Italian household, have an Italian family, you've definitely had this at some point in your childhood. And it's comfort food at its best. So again, it's just a really good something to have in your arsenal. And if you don't have time to make homemade chicken broth, don't even worry about it. Just as good with like a canned broth or a boxed broth. Whatever you like, you can definitely use. Please remember to like and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you all next time.